Hey guys, so today I'm here to talk to you about LRTimlapse. This program has been tremendously helpful as far as filming time lapses for me. Ever since I was introduced to it, I've loved it. What it does is it automates a lot of the Lightroom keyframes, so you make your adjustments in keyframes in Lightroom, and then you bring it over into LRTimlapse. Basically, it does all the work for you. But today we got an update, and it's Lightroom 6 beta, and so it's coming up from a huge 5.7. So today I thought I'd just walk you through it. Before I do so, um, there is something about LR Timelapse this release that I'm not too happy with, and I'll get that off right off at the bat. In order to upgrade, it's going to cost me $146. And so initially, I think I paid about $300 for this program. So to now upgrade again, I'm going to have to pay $146. That's kind of a bummer. But if you buy it new, it's going to be $280. So, I mean, I guess there is a big discount for us, but I'm not too happy about having to pay $146 for this. But so with that out the way, I'm just going to go through and let you see what I see. So here we are in LRTimlapse. Now here's the first thing you'll note with the beta version. If you have the beta version, as soon as you try to go to a 400 plus, sorry, the unlicensed version only allows 400 images. So I'm going to hit no. I've already started this time lapse, but I haven't done anything. I just let it build all the keyframes. So what's cool is this window over here. It looks like you can edit the photos right inside of LRTimlapse. I'm not sure. I haven't done any research about this. So I'm just going to jump in as if I know what I'm doing. So I'm just going to click this first image here. And it looks like in the preview window over here, can I make that bigger? I don't think I can. So in this preview, just keep an eye on this preview over here. As I boost up the exposure of this shot, it worked a minute ago. Okay, so if I take this, what am I doing wrong? Keyframes are made. So I'm just going to start over. Keyframes. All right, let's take another one. This one's under 300, so under 400, excuse me. So I'm just going to let it build out. It's going to go through and make all the keyframes. This is shot on the Sony FX3, which I'm filming on right now. It's going to build all the keyframes, and then I'm going to hit, I usually stay in this visual workflow, and it's strange because before I hit save. Okay, so yeah, once you hit save, that's what happened. So now it looks like I can edit the photo. So I'm just going to increase my shadows a little bit. And I see in the visual preview window that it is changing. I'm going to dehaze it a lot to see if that changes anything. Oh, it does. So you get a quick preview. And then I'm going to boost up the saturation. It is kind of a dark image because I dehazed it so much. So let me just bring the dehaze down a little bit. I'm going to boost up the exposure just a tad to get this histogram right. That looks like it's too much. So I'm just going to bring it down just a scotch. I like that it's live in this visual preview. So maybe you don't have to use Lightroom at all. I'm guessing. No, because it still says drag to Lightroom. So we're just going to see what else we have down here. We have some noise reduction, clarity. I'm going to drop my blacks down a little bit. And then maybe hit save again. And then if I drive this over to Lightroom, we're going to pop up in Lightroom and see what happens. See if all those changes that I just made actually carry over into Lightroom. So here we are. It's going to drop all those into Lightroom. I'm going to switch this over to keyframe mode. Excuse me. And hit Develop tab. And it looks like, yeah, it looks like all the adjustments that I made inside of LRTimlapse did carry over. So what if I redo that? So I just hit auto. And I like where that's at right now. I'm going to add a little bit more saturation, a little bit more clarity. I mean, this looks like a good image so far. Let's see. I'm going to enable my default because I was shooting on the Tamron 70-300. Now I'm going to go over to Adobe Landscape because that kind of brings out the oranges in this mountain a little bit more. I'm going to hit auto one more time, see what that does. Again, it boosts up my saturation a lot. So yeah, so if I right click and I'm going to save the metadata, it's going to save it, and then we're going to flip back over to LRTimlapse and then hit reload. So all of those changes carried over. Let's make sure my saturation, yeah, it looks like it did. All the numbers match up. So now I'm going to hit auto transition. And what that's going to do is it's going to sync the keyframes throughout the whole entire time lapse. Looks like it's going to automatically build the visual previews again. Let's just see how it works out. Yeah, it looks like it's going to do visual previews on its own. It used to be that you had to auto transition and then hit a visual preview after. And then the last step is to deflicker. So just going to let this process go. It's not a long time lapse, so it shouldn't take that long. Almost there. Sips coffee. It's nighttime, so I don't have any coffee. All right, so we're coming to the end. It didn't take long at all. I mean, it's only 230 pictures, 229 pictures, so it's not a long time lapse. Let's see what it does when it gets, okay, so it's at the end, visual preview. Looks clean. So I like to hit visual deflicker. So again, the same smoothing steps are still here. I'm gonna bump this up just to see how it does. Yeah, I'm gonna take it up to maybe somewhere there. And then apply. So it's gonna apply a 2-pass. So there's the first pass. And what that does is it smooths out all the brightness and adjustments between the keyframes so that you get a nice flicker-free time lapse. And that's one of the benefits of using a program like LRTimlapse. With Lightroom, you'll have to go into each individual pictures. You can sync across them in Lightroom and export that time lapse. But the benefit of doing it in a program like LRTimlapse is you get to, again, sync the keyframes. So sync all your pictures, but then this deflicker visual preview situation, it smooths out those peaks in between. So now if I watch it again, looks real clean. So now we have this new option that says export and render internal. Exports internally and renders. The internal export doesn't support the advanced options in quality. For maximum quality, please use the external workflow with Lightroom. All right, so what we're going to do first off is we're going to come back over here, switch this to full sequence. I'm going to hit grid. I'm going to Control A and then load. I'm going to read the metadata. So what that's going to do is it's going to bring all the LRTimlapse information into Lightroom. But before I export this, I'll let it do its thing. So there it is. There's all my changes coming through. It's reading the XMP data. All right. So, I mean, there's all my changes are coming through. So before I would normally you'd have to click the editing. I mean, click the actual folder. Don't try to export it from catalog. You have to click it from the folder. So there's all my changes. They're still updating the previews. But let's just, for giggles, export and render. Let's see what that does. Okay, there's my folder. Let's just pick a place for it. Oh, all right. So here are options. We get some options to choose from. I'm going to hit, oh, there it is. All right, so if you export it, it's going to limit you to 1080 with this free version. So there is the other catch. You can do it the whole time lapse, but you can't export it in the original source, which I believe this is almost 5K. So it'll be like 4096 or whatever, but it'll say source resolution, but you can't change that because it's the free beta version. No, I mean, let's just do it anyways. Can I do anything else? Nope. I can't. Oh, okay, I can change it to ultra high. It's only going to render out 8-bit. All right, so let's just export it and see what it does. I mean, yeah, so I'm under the gun at this point. I need this for work. I make my living off of time lapses, so I'll need to buy the full version of it. And again, it's $146, which isn't bad when you're making, $30 to $40 for every time lapse you sell, and I sell about 8 of them a month, so it's justified, but I wasn't ready. Yeah. Anywho, well, there's a Ranty McRanterson. Now I got to sit and contemplate whether I'm going to buy this. So if you want to see more about this program, stay tuned because I'll probably buy it, but I can't right now because I have to think about it.